A bit of a trigger warning is going to come with today's video because former TNA Knockouts champion is in the news today for alleged abuse. I've got all the latest on today's episode of Wrestling Absorber Radio. Welcome to the War Room. My name is Dan Frampton. Give me a like, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. There's nothing jovial or exciting about today's story. Today's story, I gotta talk about former TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich. Now this kind of breaks my heart to talk about this name in this kind of capacity because the name Masha Slamovich, just by itself as a name, might be one of the best names to ever grace the wrestling business. Coming from the punk rock world, I have kind of an affinity for a name that involves the word mosh and slam, and you put those two things together, you get Masha Slamovich. This is a name I wish I came up with on my show Pit Pros that I do on my main channel and on my Instagram. Masha Slamovich, brilliant name, but not a brilliant person, or at least that's the way it looks today with today's allegations. Now, Masha Slamovich has never been signed to any of the big orgs out there. She's never been with the World Wrestling Federation, and she's never wrestled for All Elite Wrestling. She's mostly plied her trade over there in TNA and all around the indies. But she was a bigger name than her partner, Akira. Akira was her boyfriend apparently up until recently, and Akira's friend leaked a whole bunch of DMs, images, text messages, and all sorts of incriminating evidence against Masha Slamovich. Because I guess over the last year and a bit, Akira was confiding in this friend of his, telling this friend all the different things that Masha was doing to him. And all of these DMs and pictures were uploaded into a Dropbox late last night, early this morning, and I do not recommend going through it if you're sensitive to this kind of thing. We are definitely not gonna go through all the images and all the text messages, but here it is right here. Here's the Dropbox. I'll leave a link to it down in the description if you wanna go through it all yourself, but it is pretty incriminating. And this one right here might be one of the biggest red flags in this entire document or whatever. In the gray, we got Masha Slamovich. In the blue, we got Akira. Masha says, "You can keep both the dogs, they're in your name, right?" Then Akira says, "You hit me, you're wrong." Then Masha says, and this is the smoking gun, "You cursed at me, that's why you got hit." Now, I'm not coming in here to play her like relationship counselor and go through all of these messages and be like, this was your main problem. But if you go through all of this, it is clear that this was a toxic relationship, and Masha Slamovich was holding the fact that she was a little bit bigger of a name in the industry over this poor guy's head, threatening to leave him anytime that he did anything, threatening to leave him anytime the house wasn't clean, saying that she was embarrassed to be in a tag team with him out there on the indies. When you go through these messages, Masha Slamovich comes across like a little bit of a monster, not gonna lie. There's even this one message where she's like, "I want us to be a power couple. I'm the strong Masha and you're the twink Akira." She like put him down and emasculated him around every single corner, just letting him know that she was a bigger name and more talented and just like a bigger deal in the wrestling world, I guess. But I will reiterate, Akira wasn't the one to leak all of these images. This was Akira's friend, because apparently on Discord and through other messaging services, Akira has this friend that he confided all this in. It was like, I can't believe I'm being treated like this by Masha. And then the gaslighting where Masha goes into the stories and is like, eliminate anything and anyone that no longer serves you. Like she's the victim, like she's the one that's moving on in her life. Great, awesome. This is a text message I was referring to earlier. I just want to bring it up and quote it directly because it's crazy, man. If anybody talked to me like this, I'd just be out. But what do you mean? The disrespect on display here is unprecedented. I got a problem because I want to be the power couple and not, oh, strong ass Masha and twink Akira. Then Akira sends images of him having a death match and looking sick as hell and being like, this is me. Yeah, looking strong and badass to me, buddy. But because Akira wasn't the one to leak these and tweeted out the following, I woke up to this and people asking me if I was okay. Kinda wanna throw up, kinda wanna go away forever. My friend held back for months because I asked her to, and I would have never said anything. I still really don't want to. I didn't want to lash out in anger because I was angry. I need to come up with a word to say instead of this word right here. Can you see that? I can't say this word, but he felt like this as well, and depressive since the end of January. I'm not alive though if she didn't take my calls every day while caring for her sick grandfather. I'm not alive if my roommate's Wraith didn't laugh with me at my stupid videos daily. I'm not alive if Dale Patrick and Simon Gotch weren't there for me. I gave a lot with little in return. I had a lot of growing up to do, and despite my progression, I was always told I was never going to be enough. The things I liked and did were stupid and a waste of time. Things I told about my thoughts on my gender and the confusion I was feeling was turned on me. I was lied to about finances and spent more than I should have because I thought we were struggling together. The more I read of this guy's statement, the more twisted and evil this comes across. And he seems like a very confused person that just wants to deal with all this stuff privately, and now he has to deal with it publicly. It's all thrust upon him. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody, and especially feeling the way that he feels, feeling like up against the wall, like this is your last gasp at anything, and then to have this all thrown at your front door has got to be painful. He says that he tried to end it 3 times because the life that he tried to build with someone was torn apart and he became nothing to that person. It was like a withdrawal. Every time I went to the hospital, that person I put on the pedestal was gone. I didn't matter. That is brutal. Oh my God, buddy. That is painful as shit. When you're supposed to be in a loving relationship, it's a give and take. When you're in the hospital, you'd expect the love of your life to be there and at least show a little bit of concern. But judging by all those gaslighty text messages, all those images, and the admission of her hitting him, well, it doesn't really paint Masha Slamovich in the best light, does it? I'm not gonna read the entire statement, but it goes on to say, I'm not angry, I'm not sad, not anymore, I'm apathetic. I moved on, and there's still bitterness in my stomach, but I don't let it guide me. I've grown up as a person and as a wrestler. I've grown up mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm still figuring things out, and I've got nothing to say to that person. I adored them. I still feel phantom pains in my heart every time I see a photo. There's a part of my life and history I don't get to where I am now, a mature and thoughtful person with a healthy dose of CTE without the experiences I went through and the isolation I experienced in a foreign country. But it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. I love wrestling, I love life and the people it brought into my life, even her. But it's not a drug for me. If this makes it impossible to hire me or anything, so be it. I'll move on because wrestling isn't everything to me, and I'm thankful it showed me the world and the man I have to be for myself. I'm just looking for my happy ending. Dude, this guy sounds so traumatized. This guy sounds like he is in a ton of pain right now, and I really don't want this to affect his bookings, and I don't think it will, because there is a lot of support for him now. Everybody seems to be on his side. This really does seem like he was a victim in this situation. Me personally, I haven't heard of the guy. I haven't seen him work. I wish I could speak more to that, but I just can't. I'm much more familiar with Masha Slamovich, and I was impressed with her work. She had a great body of work, years of good matches, a great name, and a reputation in the business for being able to put on good matches. But judging by all this Dropbox material, she is a gaslighting, toxic, egomaniacal little abuser. Allegedly, according to these documents. You might be scratching your head being like, isn't Masha Slamovich signed to TNA Wrestling? Isn't that like one of the bigger organizations out there in the US? Yeah, it is. But according to John Alba, TNA has opened an internal investigation into the Masha Slamovich situation. So that's at least something. Hopefully something comes from this. I'm sending nothing but positive vibes all the way to Akira. I really hope that you get through this. I hope you find everything you want to in life. And I hope that the bookers hire you for some jobs. And not some jobs you should be going over. And I say all of that without ever seeing a lick of this guy's work. But anyway, that's where the story is right now. The link to the Dropbox is down below if you want to go through it yourself. God help you. If you or anyone you know is struggling with this kind of thing, please reach out for help. Help is out there. You are not alone. And with all that out of the way, I'm just going to quickly mention my live streams over on my main channel. I've been doing daily, kind of nightly live streams over there, taking requests, listening to music, playing video games and that kind of thing. Very chill. I don't really promote it or really go out of my way to ask people to come to those live streams, but I will be promoting one live stream in particular, and that is September 31st. The big stream on the main channel. I'm going to be going for at least 6 hours, gonna be taking tons of requests, and then filling that time with other things as well. More announcements to come. Link to the main channel down below. But remember that, save the date, September 31st. I'm trying to get 100 concurrent people into that live stream. If you're hearing this message, write it down now, hit the notification bell. September 31st, I'm gonna wanna see you in that chat room. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.